Kenny and I met at a party. It was like a graduation party. It was years ago. I was 22. I want to say it was 2009. And we hit it off right away, but we were also kids, so it was very short-lived. But we remained friends all the way through until we started dating in 2020.
It'll be 6 years in August that I was literally sleeping outside and then meeting with her maybe a year later to declare a bankruptcy.
It was when he pulled out of his addiction that we met up for coffee and I helped him with some bankruptcy. I had done a little bit of that in law school, and I basically urged him not to go forward in that direction, that he didn't need to. It wasn't as bad as he thought.
I didn't have any bank account. I never thought, 5.5 years later I'd be able to buy a house.
Just from the time that we started dating in 2020, he's dramatically different. He's far more confident, and he's a healthier person. So I think now I don't worry too much about him going back there.
Very blessed, man. I mean, as frustrated as I've been getting on dealing with all of this stuff, I have to remember where I come from.
I knew about it early on. When he first went down that path, I was shocked. He's just not the typical person, but that's how opioids is. It can get anybody.
I mean, the fact that I can even pay for all of this, the fact that I would even get approved for anything like this, that a bank would approve me for a home when 5 years ago they wouldn't give me a bank account.
By the time we started dating, he was different. I mean, I haven't really had to worry because he's just been so determined to get everything going in another direction. He's just always motivated to work or, at home. He's just, and his confidence is back. And I think that's key too, because I think a lot of addicts, a lot of it comes from, a lack of confidence and some inner turmoil.
One step at a time. For me, I can tell you exactly what I did. I started with something as small as paying back phone bills. I had a bunch of outstanding phone bills and credit cards, right? So I was meeting with people like Becca to declare bankruptcy, but when she was like, look, this isn't as bad as it looks. I've seen way worse, you can get out of this. And having a professional tell me that, I was like, all right, I guess we'll start, And instead of I had about 60K or more in debt, and that wasn't counting student loans or anything. That was just what I had in front of me with a repo car and credit cards and phone bills and just all the different things that I had screwed up. I started with the cheapest one I could get, And then the debtors that would call me, I would actually take the call. And if it was their time, I'd say, hey, look, I'd like to set up a plan. They'll always work something out with you. I mean, I can't speak, I guess, for everybody, but for me, in my experience, is they want their money, they're gonna work with you. And so I just got on payment plans for every single one.
It's one of those traits that I don't love it, but it's not a deal breaker for me because he's always working on something for us. But I do have to tell him sometimes, if it's a Sunday, hey, it's okay to sit and watch TV for a couple hours and relax. You can take one day out of the week and just relax. But he takes the time. We have date night every Saturday, and I may have to tell him a couple times to get off the phone because it's not work time, but he does make that time. So I can't complain.
You might think your life's over 1 minute, and then a couple years later, things come back. In fact, sometimes that's the dangerous part, is when things come back quick. You think you're good, you let your guard down, you know what I mean? And you stop doing the things that got you here. I had a spiritual mentor of mine on Friday kind of remind me of that. Bro, don't let the gifts that you're receiving now as a result of your hard work take you back out, And so it's important I continue to do the things that put me in this position in the first place. I have the gym, I have the different routines that I do. Well, I also have things that I do outside of that for my sobriety, for my mental, for my spiritual, that are important, that are arguably the most important. You know what I mean? For a guy like me, they're definitely the most important.
I believe in him 100%. He's done so much in just a small amount of time, something that I just could never even think of doing.
Whenever you think shit's just so bad that you can't get out of the hole you're in, I mean, this is crazy to me, man.